Day 17 of quarantine, and much is running through my mind. Why would God allow this? Is there something I need to learn? Some fresh insight I could find? Maybe God doesn't see a quarantine so much as divinely appointed quality time. Maybe what feels unstable is meant to inspire families to gather back around the table. Maybe quarantine is intended to make me grateful for what I used to call my old routine. Maybe it shows us that when mankind is at odds, attacking the other party is flawed. Maybe it'll remind the church not to simply run to a building, but to run back to God. Maybe it's not so much to ensue some form of punishment, but rather to instill a sense of astonishment, something I was missing, but now I can see. Because God will do whatever it takes to help him or her see. It's called mercy. Before my blindness begins worsening, because maybe it takes a virus to open my iris to see a greater virus potentially lives inside of me, like Corona, drunk on daily duty, intoxicated with indifference, obsessed with so-called obligations, a nation infatuated with material over spiritual, virtual over physical, appearance over substance, like a trance. But maybe this is our chance. But Nikki, how can you say this with optimism when countless have died and more die each day? Listen. My heart goes out to every single person that has lost a loved one to this horrid illness. But what I have found in stillness, the realness of what we face, here is what I have to say. Unfortunately, now because we're aware, we feel this urgency to pray. But what about years prior? See, if you want to look at it in those terms, in a sense, things have always been dire, whether we realize that or not. And I'm not trying to instill fear, but according to the CDC, as many as 56,000 people die from the flu or flu-like illnesses each year. I didn't know that until a pandemic indirectly made that clear. See, God, in his mercy, not fury, mercy, is helping him see, her see, beyond the fallacy. I myself was mesmerized by what was in front of me on a screen without cause. I lost control, but he copped the remote and loved me enough to hit pause. People tend to band together when there's a common enemy, and faith is prone to flourish in an environment of adversity. Hardships create gratitude in an abstract way, and that spouse you used to complain about is now the person you join with to pray. I'm not saying any of this is okay. And if that is what you're hearing, you've completely misunderstood. I'm saying, let's not forget that we serve a God who specializes in taking what the enemy intended for evil and using it for good.